Hello, I hope this finds everybody doing well. This is an overview to Kinesiology 231. Specifically, we'll be speaking about the syllabus and schedule for the course. So when you first go onto Blackboard and you go into your Blackboard shell, I'm in the student preview. I have the ability to do that as an instructor. So I'm in a student preview mode, so it'll look like this in announcements, and you'll have your greetings message right here. What you'd like to do is go over to Syllabi and Schedule in the pull-out menu from the left-hand side of the screen. If it's not here, there's a little arrow on the side. You tap on that and it'll pop it right out. Syllabus and Schedule, you have two main areas, one of which is syllabus and a schedule and layout for the course. So let's go ahead and open up the syllabus in the Word document. And you can print this off to review at your leisure. Keep it for a record, whatever you like. The syllabi is the best way I can describe it. It's an informational document, but it's also an agreement. It's an agreement between the student and the instructor, and the student and the college, as well as the instructor and the college. We all have certain expectations of what is to go into this class and how the class is to be handled. And that expectation is for all three of us in this arrangement. So this document outlines not only requirements for the course, but also some expectations between all of us for the course and for the university. General information, you have a 3-credit course. We're meeting on Thursdays. We're meeting in M2510. Most, if not all, of the material will be delivered online. I'm an adjunct professor, meaning I'm a part-time professor. And as a result, I don't have a physical office, and so I do not carry papers with me on and off of campus. I do everything via Blackboard, deliver content via Blackboard, present quizzes, exams, labs, everything in this medium. It's much easier to keep things centralized as opposed to shuffling papers back and forth. If you have issue with Blackboard, I urge you to look out or look further down in the document to find more information regarding resources for Blackboard at Harper College. Specifically in my information, this is me. I have a master's in exercise science. I also have a master's of business administration. So we can talk about fitness or we can talk about business. I have 2 main certifications, Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist and Certified Personal Trainer. Those are both through the National Strength and Conditioning Association. I also have several other smaller, more specialized certifications for Pilates or prehab rehab, also small apparatus like BOSU, TRX, etc. Things that I use in my day-to-day practice, but that are really not germane to my main information. Please feel free to refer to me as Adrian. Just so you know, I am an adjunct professor. That does not make me a professor. Realize those individuals on campus who have that term, Professor Smith, Professor Johnson, etc., those individuals have tons of experience, they have a PhD, and they've earned that title. At this point, I am on my way to that, so to that end, you can feel free to call me Coach Fleischer or Adrian. Phone number. This dumps into a voicemail box that I check randomly at best. I just like the number Fit1. I thought it was a really cool number. But on campus, as I mentioned, I don't have an office or a space or a place that I can call my own. And so I'm in an adjunct office with several other people, and we have one phone, and I just check my voicemail remotely. The best way is this, my email address, afleisch@harpercollege.edu. Whatever reason, Harper, their characters only allow X amount of characters, and it cuts off the R in my name. So just realize that it's afleisch at Harper College, not A. Fleischer. With office, it's pretty much the adjunct office over in M building, or any table we sit down at in M building is my office. So as long as you can kind of reach out and make an appointment ahead of time, I'll be happy to meet with you wherever, whenever in M building. Email is best, as I noted earlier, and I'll be sure to get back to you in a timely manner. Important course dates. I always like to point these out. The last day to drop the course for a full refund is August 31st, and the last day to withdraw from the course, and please, I hope you're not in either one of these situations, but the college always asks us to put these in the important dates for the course so you know. The last day to withdraw from the course is November 23rd. Then we go into the Thanksgiving holiday week after that. Labor Day will not affect our class because that's a Monday and our class is on Thursday. We come back from Thanksgiving on Monday the 30th, and then we have a short sprint into final exam week and finals and the end of term in December. In this course, the prerequisite is Kinesiology 230, of which you should have completed and done so with a grade of C or better. The overview and the outcomes below, I'm not going to read this to you verbatim, just for a simple fact that if you've signed up for this course, you should be well aware of what these outcomes are, and you'll have these as a resource in this document at any given time. What I want to get across, if I can just kind of summarize all of this, is as a fitness practitioner, this course fulfills a component that is more specific towards the analysis and the statistical gathering and analysis, if I will, of data points regarding your clients. There are many different ways to gather data to evaluate a person's readiness for a workout, and this course is specific to that information. Further, this course will also delve into some of the information that is specific to how you map out workouts based on the data points that you have. Believe me, it's not just a person is a little bit overweight, you work them out this way. There's more to the entire equation of how you train somebody to reach their fitness goals. And as a fitness practitioner, you kind of have to wrap yourself around these to be successful. Textbook, Advanced Fitness and Exercise Prescription by Hayward. I have the 8th edition. I'm told the 7th and the 8th edition are very similar, so if you can find a 7th edition and it costs you a little bit less money, feel free to do so. Beyond that, you can feel free to source this book from whatever area you like. I'm going to try to supplement with some videos from the text. If you buy the text and you have the key code for it, you'll be able to access videos directly and some of the information I'm providing directly. But I'm definitely taking a bunch of information from here, and as you'll see, we have one whole area of our course where points are centered squarely on this, on the book. I mentioned earlier, everything is Blackboard. I would urge you to look in this document a little bit further down and find the resource, and I'll go over that in a second, for Blackboard if you have difficulty with that medium. So I took the course and I divided it into 5 main modules covering different areas of health as well as fitness assessment. And when you look at the modules, and you'll see them here in one of the other videos, you'll have 2 or 3 chapters categorized into different areas, and it'll all be color codified, and this will all become very apparent in a little bit. Specific to this document, we have 8 main functional areas or 8 main grading categories, from lab assignments, case studies, post and response, practicals, and written exams. And if you look at these columns, you go here and you can see how many of each we have, how many points for each, and then how many total points you have for each category, and the course itself maps out to about 700 points. And I say about because sometimes we'll have a snow day, we'll have an issue where we can't get on campus, who knows with weather in Chicago. I've had to make minor adjustments to this final number based on the assignment total here. And when you look at that, and the question always is, how do you get on the A train? Well, the A train here, it's 630 points. So you can kind of strategize and look at this and go, lab assignments, quizzes, case studies are your big point gatherers in this class. And then you start to hammer out the other stuff to get the rest of it to get to 630. Believe me, I have no doubt you'll be able to do this. Further down here, please do not wait until the end of the term to try to make up any assignments. If you miss something or know you're going to miss something, reach out beforehand, let me know so we can accommodate so you don't get buried with a bunch of assignments going into the end of the term. That's an awful place to be, and it's completely overwhelming. It's terrible. I took the above categories and I broke them out for you to give a little explanation of each, what it's going to look like, how many questions, etc. And as we go through the course, we might make some minor adjustments in terms of either case studies or how many questions might be on a book quiz, but it's going to map out pretty darn close to this. I have found that I oftentimes have to make little minor adjustments as I go through the term, but this is what I'm planning on right here. 8 main areas, 700 points, and this is an overview of each category. So with the different policies, please make sure you make it a point to reach out to me and let me know beforehand if you have a problem. I'm pretty darn accommodating. I understand most everybody has other requirements outside of his class in terms of life, work, family, etc. And I'll be happy to accommodate as needed. But just realize with that process, you have to work with me, right? So get in touch with me before there's a problem and we'll take care of it. With labs, the challenge you have is if we're working with somebody else in the laboratory and we have an issue where we miss an assignment, then we're going to have to find a way to make that up. And that will become a bit of a challenge in terms of trying to schedule that out because of the requirements on campus in terms of the room. So M2510 is the fitness lab, and other classes use that facility, and it might be a bit of a challenge to make some stuff up, but we'll do the best we can. So you'll see this in most every syllabi on campus, and in it, this section we're talking about the culture of the course. And specifically, you're looking at things like attendance and behavioral expectations, how the student should act in the course, things they should and shouldn't do while they're in the course. And these are pretty standard things. But what I want to get into as I go further down, we talk about cheating and plagiarism. Please don't do anything of that variety, so I don't have to give you an F. Make sure you don't cheat and don't plagiarize other people. Cite your sources. And if we scroll down a little bit further, and I mentioned this is a bit of a resource document as well. When we get down into this area, you have student success. And so, like, for example, if you have some kind of IEP or some kind of issue where you need exams read to you, you need extra time to finish assignments, please let me know. I'm pretty accommodating with this as well. I mean, I've literally sat and read quizzes to my students in other classes. It doesn't bother me at all to do this, but you have to let me know. Usually ADS will send me an email regarding a student's issue long before the student comes and talks to me, but I prefer to have ADS and the student and myself all communicating so we're all on the same page. If you feel you need to have some kind of assistance with this class, please use this as a resource. Further on down, what I always like to get across is this here. If you have an issue where you have difficulty with Blackboard or email or anything on campus, reach out to the student service desk. This is their phone number, and this is how you can email them. Again, this is a very Blackboard-centric kind of course, so you have to be able to whip through Blackboard and navigate Blackboard pretty confidently. If you don't, you're going to have a problem. And with that, here's some other information for you to follow along and other information you can use as a resource. So I hope this helps everyone. And the last area I want to get into is student safety and wellness. With student safety and wellness, obviously we have an action plan on campus if there's some kind of issue, if there's some kind of on-campus issue. But many times there are issues off campus that we're just not aware of and we can't control. And I will tell you that behind the scenes you have an entire network of people that all work together through a system called Starfish. Starfish allows me to communicate with other people in your orbit on campus, your counselor, your academic advisor, your other instructors. And believe me, there's been times where students have come to me and said, I'm really having trouble in my, math class. I'm not really good at this calculus that they threw me into, and I think I'm going to fail it. What do you think I should do? And I've generated a Starfish to that person's entire educational team, and as a result, the issue was resolved. Where I'm going with this is, you have a support system in place, use it. Don't let something spiral out of control, and certainly don't ever suffer in silence. Whether it's a student harassing you, an issue you might have with a class, an issue you might have somewhere on campus or off campus if you're with another student, you have a support system in place. Please speak up and it can be resolved. So to that end, you have a resource here for different services on campus that you can reach out to, whether it's the police, the HEAT team, or just psychological services. And I'll stress this again, you need not suffer in silence if there's an issue. Speak up. To that end, guys, have yourself a great term. I'll have a couple more videos for you so you'll be able to follow along and be able to navigate Blackboard. I only have 15 minutes of time, so please have a good one. I'm signing off. Thank you.